my parents purchase a house via mortgage, and I am aware of this, is it permissible for me to live within this house?
Question says, if my parents purchase a house via mortgage, is it permissible for me to live in this house? We say that if they bought the house on mortgage, okay, or any other type of dealing that is either haram or at best severely questionable or doubtful, because there are details with regards to mortgages in America. Obviously, there's some types of mortgage, quote unquote, that are clearly haram. And there are other things in which there is detail. We'll say that. There's what? There's detail. We're not telling anyone to take riba and live off riba. But there are certain issues in which there are what? Some type of details. So at the end of the day, somebody who lives in a house and it's off of mortgage, and let's say for argument's sake, it's clearly haram what they have done, your parents have done. They've purchased a house, they're renting a house, renting to buy a house, in which is something that's clearly haram. It depends. Have you advised them? Have you spoken to them? Have you brought them the necessary proof and evidence? Do you have another place to live, another place to stay? Do you have an alternative? So if you advised them and you told them and you spoke to them, you have no other place to go, or even if you have somewhere else to go, but they require your service, they need you to be there and take care of them or to look after things, and so on and so forth, then that's not necessarily, the sin is not necessarily upon you. وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى. Allah says, no bearer of burdens will bear the burden of another bearer of burdens. No wazira will bear the burden of another. They bought the house on riba. They bought the house on that which is haram. You advised them. You warned them. You're young. You're living there. You have no other place to go. It's against your will. It's not necessarily your responsibility. As long as, you tried your best. If you're in doubt, if you don't feel comfortable, then you should leave. However, where are you going to go? Are you of age? Do you have somewhere else to go? Are you responsible? Will your parents become angry? Will that make a bigger problem by you leaving the house? Will that take them and send them further away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Everybody understand this? So that's the general rule, is that it's not necessarily, the sin is not necessarily upon you. However, looking at the ugliness of riba and the curse of riba, you're living in that house. You're eating and you're drinking, you're sleeping, you're seeking shelter and protection in that house. That's based off of riba. That's hated by Allah and that's curse. So that's another way of looking at it as well. So it all depends. It all what? It all depends. That's the general rule. Wallahu ta'ala alam.